Hello, this is Moose here at Trask. I'm here to introduce a new item that we're going to be make available to the public through drag and directly through Trask. It's part of our bitch and bolt package. First article is our front axle assembly, 08 to 23 FL only, and 24 Road Kings. It does not fit the inverted front ends and does not, well, which is the CVO, and does not fit the 24 baggers. They changed the axle. Anyway, this is all titanium, complete axle kit with a titanium pinch bolt. This is 40% lighter than the stock axle. That's beneficial because it is less unsprung weight, which is important for your suspension, ride, handling. Anything below the shocks, your wheel, caliper, axle, hardware, all that stuff is unsprung weight. It is below the spring, which means it's not part of the suspension. So however you can reduce that weight will improve the reaction of your suspension, how it responds to bumps, the road handling, you know, all of the above. So we're going to go ahead and do an installation video. It's very simple. We're going to remove the front axle, the stock front axle, and replace it with this. And not only that, it looks cool as hell. I got the scissor jack underneath the front portion of the chassis. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jack the bike up. I've loosened the wheel chuck, the wheel vise up front. I'm going to jack the bike up until the front wheel is just floating off the surface of the lift. Then lower it back down until the tire just makes contact so that there's really no load or stress on the axle, and it'll just slide right out of the forks. I'm going to remove the axle nut. I'll go over to the other side. There's a pinch bolt, and we'll just slide the axle out and slide the new one through, and we'll just go step by step. Okay, so I got the nut off the other side of the axle. I'm going to loosen up this pinch bolt. Actually, I'm going to just go ahead and remove it because it's getting replaced with a titanium fastener. Get that completely just out of the way. Allows you to just push the axle straight out and the new one will slide in. So I want you to take a minute and just grab the stock axle and grab the new Trask axle and just feel the weight difference. It's really awesome. I'll pop the nut off of here with the washer and slide this through. Now, this shoulder here is going to push on your wheel spacer and push the wheel over to that leg. You may end up with a little gap on this side, which is absolutely normal. So the way we set up the wheel, go ahead and just push the axle straight through. If you're fighting this process, you're doing something wrong. It really should be simple. So you got your washer and your nut. Go ahead and put the washer on up against the fork leg. The nut goes on, flat surface against the washer. These parts are made with race in mind or performance, of course performance, but it's set up so that you can safety wire the axle nut to the axle for added insurance that it won't come loose. And we will go ahead and go through that process. I'm going to snug this up on this side, just put a little bit of torque on it. What that does is it draws the axle over to this side of the bike. At this point now I can go ahead and tighten up this pinch bolt, torque it to factory specs, and then I can go ahead and torque the axle at factory spec. So this is a new titanium pinch bolt. If you notice, it's got a shoulder on it because there is a cavity in the fork leg. So the shoulder will bottom out on the cavity, and you'll still get full visual of the 12-point fastener head. Go ahead and get this torqued. And that gets torqued to a stock factory spec. That's torqued in place. Okay, so we'll go ahead and torque the axle. The pinch bolt's tight on that side. The axle's drawn to this side. This also gets torqued to a factory spec. Just a recap. This is grade 5 titanium, which is the strongest titanium available. And I'm going to go ahead and wire tie or safety wire the axle to the nut. So safety wiring the nut to the axle. If the axle wants to loosen, it's going to want to loosen counterclockwise. So the hole in the axle I got perpendicular to the bike. I'm going to run this through the hole. There's a hole at every peak. Pinch that over itself. I'm going to simulate where the hole is. Grab it with my safety wire pliers.
Hold it.
I'm going to run this safety wire up through the axle, like so. You can see my twist goes right up to the axle. I'm going to come around the front of the axle like that. Grab the safety wire again, lock that in place. Give that a twist. We'll snip off this excess. My needle nose. Just going to roll this over and tuck it in behind itself. Reason being is it looks neater, and if you're wiping on a bike, you don't want to catch your finger on it or catch a cloth or rag or whatever. You don't want to catch on it. Doesn't feel good getting poked with stainless. Okay, so we just completed the installation of our bitch and bolt titanium front axle, grade 5 titanium, and we will be coming out with additional titanium fasteners, a complete engine package, chassis package for the M8 models coming out next year. Get it through your local authorized drag specialties dealer or directly through traskperformance.com. Thank you.